Well, it is that time of year again to be getting into some chopping. So Nate and I dug this out of storage along with the backup unit. It's going to be disappointing not to really be using this one all that much. We want to get some hours on that other one. And we want to save this so that we can, well, we want to kind of keep the hours off of it. We did put a lot of work into this winter. And it is just like new right now. And we're not sure if we're gonna just stay with using the other one or use two of them or what. We really don't have the manpower nor the trucks enough to keep up to two machines. And being that it's been wet and cold, this first cutting of alfalfa is not going to be, it's not going to yield all that much. So we won't need the big chopper here. We can get along with using that other one. So we'll have to break this one out for the heavy crop. So like I said, we did do a lot of work to this winter. All it needs right now is fuel. And then we're going to put it in the other barn. And if in the event that the other one goes down, we can come back to this one here. We ended up replacing this tire here on the head last year. And now it's flat. So we need some bead sealant or something for this rim. But being that it's warmer, the rubber is a little more pliable. We could probably get away with just blowing it up and it'll be good. So we don't know at what extent we're gonna need this, but if we have a flat tire on the head or something like that, we can at least take the head on the other one. We can at least take a wheel off of this one. So this unit here, we ended up rebuilding this head last year between first and second cutting. All new tooth bars, the cam follower tracks, bearings, put all brand new teeth on it and everything else. And then this past winter, we ended up putting the metal, new metal on the throat. And we ended up replacing the stripper pieces that go on the auger. So the head is basically in brand new condition other than it's got some faded paint. We put the throat pieces on the cutter head channel, new blower housing. This unit's all just, it's turnkey. So we need to take this up, put fuel in it, and park it away, and then we'll bring the other one down, and we've got to take the head off the other one and grease it because we don't know what got greased on that here before we got it. So that's what we're up to, and then we've got some other items that we need to get into the service truck. An item came here the other day that I ordered back here last fall. So we'll get after it. Here's another item that you're going to see in a future video. But I've got a radio that I've got to put in the other machine as well. So we're just going to be jumping back and forth between some odds and ends here. All right, so we've got this other chopper in here. We've got the 8700 all ready to go, and that's parked in the hay barn. That's parked in the hay barn, ready and waiting in case we need it. So what I need to do is I need to Well, it looks like today is the day that we start chopping hay. We have had some pretty good hurdles the last couple days if you haven't followed along. But we're gonna get through it. So Jared's got Alex's truck done. We started to work on this here the other day till we came into our problems with what we had going on, but we need to run a grease gun around everything. And like I said, when we did a little bit of a video here the other day, the previous owner, he kind of thinks like I do. He likes to spray everything with paint all up in this cutter head area, so as to make sure you preserve everything. It just looks a lot better if everything's covered in a fresh coat of green here. So what we have to do is we have to grease this power shaft. We have to grease the other little nid bits. It looks like some of it got greased already. And then we've got to put this stone detector bar in front of that feed roll. That comes out for corn, and we have to put it back in for hay. So we'll go ahead and get this stuff greased, run a grease gun around the head, and then we're gonna start chopping. And we'll see how this does. The hay isn't all that heavy this year, or for first cutting anyways, because we just haven't had a lot of sun. We've just had a lot of rain, but we haven't had the sun. So we're going to, yeah, we better get after it here. Set of floats on this truck 18. I've got my bar that I use for when I plug the pipe, and we're gonna get rolling here. Thing fell off the window. I'm gonna have to try to stick that back on there. All right, we'll roll out here. fields that we're going to chop first. Our fields that we're going to flip from hay to corn. So it is an older seeding. Got a lot of grass in it. There should be somewhat decent stuff here. So we'll get up to the field and get started. Alright, so we are going to get started.
Yes, sir.
This will be
Checking, see if I can hear me.
the first bit of hay that we have chopped here with this machine. See if my inoculant thing works. We are not going low enough here. It's low enough now. Oh, my harvest lab isn't working. I don't know Alright, there is the first load. I can't figure out why the harvest slab is not showing up on the display. So we got to figure that out. And what I need to do is I need to figure out my headland here. This is supposed to idle longer, and I gotta, that's in one of these steps here. I just gotta figure it out. So we'll join back up with you in a little while here. Alright, so we got that figured out. I just got to think for a minute and try to remember how to do that. We did it on the last chopper. I set it and left it. So I power slab. It's not coming up on the display. I did get a message saying that there was another display present that I had to shut down. So I'm going to have to unplug my other display here and go through that prompt on that unit there. But we got trucks to fill here now, so we'll keep at it. So we've got our headland idle parameter adjusted out. So this will idle down when you get to either where you lift the head up or you shut the head off. And then you can jog around the field. You're not running the machine wide open. And as soon as you engage the cutter head, put the head down, then you can, yeah, go ahead. I don't know why you're going down through there, Jacob. You should have just turned around. Go right back to the road. You're in a wet hole there. Well, that didn't last long. Chopped like, I don't know, 4 loads, and the deflector won't work. So I haven't got time to screw around with it. We're just going to take this back and grab the, actually I could try a calibration. Maybe that would work. This here. Spout. Tilt flap sensor. Spout. Tilt up button. Raise the spout to its max. Fault. That's the fault. Okay. We tried a calibration. That doesn't work either. So there's enough going on in the neighborhood. I'm not gonna sit and wait for assistance, and I can't screw around with it too much here. So we're gonna take this back and grab old Reliable, get her out and get her going here. So, all right, we chopped. How much did we chop? Come on. Oh, what did we chop here? Applications, work monitor. We chopped 10.5 acres. All right, we'll go back and get old 8700 out, the old girl. All right. All right, firing up old Reliable. So now we gotta get this. Come on, park brake release. Takes a second sometimes. Alright, so we gotta go down to the other chopper, grab our inoculant that is loaded into it. and put the display in here from that chopper. That'll have my report for today on there. And I got to put a receiver on here. So Jason is going to give me a hand moving a few items over. I don't hit the green tender, seat tender. Alright, let's get this down there. I want to run the cutter head. I want to set the shear bar too, just so that it is tuned. I filled this full of fuel the other day. I'm like, I probably shouldn't fill it full of fuel. Man, that fuel will get stale if I don't use this. But Jason's in there. He's going to help us get together. So, I'm going to come over here. Right here. Shear bar. Alright, let's get that set. Move some items over. Alright, we'll pick up where we left off with the other machine. We'll get old reliable going here. We'll test out our work that we did to this machine over the winter. Hopefully we got every nut and bolt tight. And yeah, we chopped 10.5 acres with that other machine. And yeah. All right. Oh, listen to that. Oh, listen to that power. Oh boy, yeah, we got the powerhouse back here now. Alright, so mower's blowing good. Chopping nicely. So I've got to figure out why the arm's not up the snout here. And I gotta do a couple things I didn't have time to do earlier. Wasn't in the machine long enough. So this display that I've got in here is out of the other chopper. Well, I don't have any of my fields in here or anything, so I do things a little differently here. Alright, so we're going to keep at it. Once we get to the 10.5 acre mark with this one, well, we can say this one's chopped more than the other one is. So, alright, so we are into some new seating now. And it is right at the right moisture. We got going a little late today because we were screwing around with that other chopper, but we're up and going good now. This moisture is just right, so it was probably a good thing that we started a little later, because if we didn't, this would be a little too green. But Alex is here with her truck. Jared put a clutch in that, and he's just been swamped with, you name the problem, and it took him a lot longer to do it than we figured on. Usually a day out and a day back in. Short day out, short day back in. But got that up and going. They got the flotation tires on it. And we'll, hopefully, we don't have any problems with it. But the clutch started slipping one day when she was hauling manure, cleaning out the manure storage up to Jared's place. The clutch wasn't, the clutch wasn't wore out at all. It just, it must have got glazed over or something because it didn't adjust. That is a common problem, I guess, with these auto shift trucks. And we had a guy tell us if you take an air hammer on the clutch housing, reach in there through the clutch housing, wrap on that about every time you change the oil on the truck, it'll knock that rust loose, and it will aid in keeping that from freezing up on you. So I gotta get the phone here, so I'll be back. Hello? No, we don't. Yeah, I guess if they sit for any length of time, they can have that dust inside the clutch housing, the clutch itself, kind of rusted up enough to where it can't self-adjust. And if you run a clutch out of adjustment and let it slip at all, you end up glazing it over, and it's usually no good after that. That's what has happened, or what happened to the clutch on their truck. Just it never adjusted, couldn't adjust. And then when it got wore a little bit, it should have adjusted. Because it didn't adjust, it wasn't tight, and then it slipped itself. So that's just something you have to deal with. That was about, itself was $2,400. Bought a new PTO for it, but Jared didn't end up putting it on. They ended up rebuilding that one that was on there, so we've got a spare PTO on the shelf, a new one. And yeah, so we'll keep plugging away here. The old 8700's earning its keep. here that we're chopping in, like I said earlier, is new seed. And I seeded this here last August. It was wheat last year. And we put manure on it, and then seeded it. So we'll keep plugging away. We'll join up with you guys a little later on once we done here today. This moisture is at 58%, so it's just right. Alright, the trucks are starting to catch up to me here now. We had sent 3 guys picking stone. Sarah and Alex were disking. And now they have come to the table here, so to speak. We've got Sarah in the C5. She's pulling Jared's trailer. This is the first that she has hauled silage with a tractor trailer. Has made her way back here for another load. We're on a different farm right now. So far everything has been working out pretty good here. We should be able to maybe use that other chopper here tomorrow. There was an issue with the speed of the deflector. It was kicking out a relay. Slowed that speed down, and pipe that should take care of it. So that's gonna do it for this video. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we will catch you at the next video. Take it easy, folks.